Good morning. You're in some Lulu put, Chef? Nice. Very nice. Morning, morning. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another day. New week. New week, new opportunities. Morning. Morning, morning. All right. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope everyone had a good time. I'll be buying a plane too. Hell no. Hell no. No planes. I'll just take JetBlue. JetBlue, even more space is enough for me. That's all I need. Margin contraction. Yeah, you guys saw Lululemon this morning. Lululemon this morning came out and said that they are looking at potential margin contraction. So that's concerning. That we have to watch out for that for a few more names as well, right? It could start a little bit of a some of those discretionary retail stocks. So that was interesting out of Lulu this morning. You saw Lulu, I think, is one of the only stocks that are down significantly. Ulta's down as well. Ulta might be following that same type of the bid and ask is really wide on Ulta, so I'm not quite sure whether that's a legit print there. But Yeah, Lululemon's down $33 a share. So that's down pretty big. So if we see more margin contraction, news out of these are discretionary retailers. Now you got to remember, right? Lulu is discretionary retail. That's a little different than things like Walmart or Target or Costco. Lulu is like the extreme discretionary. It's like the extreme not necessary, type of spending. So we'll see what happens. But that is interesting this morning. That's probably the most interesting thing you saw this morning so far. Besides that, everything's still quite, holding up quite well. And the ES, 39.20. That's going to be our level. So we'll see what happens today. Thanks again for being here, guys. Thanks for being on the stream. I hope you guys are enjoying the streams. Hopefully you're enjoying the content that I provide here. So let's get started. Real quick, I'm gonna try to do some like late night streams, little like market reviews after hours. I'll see how it goes. I'll see if I have the time. It's gonna be like a soft launch type of thing. If you guys want to come hang out, if you want to come see what the market did after market close around 7 o'clock Eastern, I'm gonna try to do it today. So feel free to check that out. If you guys are a member of the channel, then you'll have access to that. If you're part of the Discord, you'll have access to that. So I just wanted to let you know I'm going to do that today at 7 o'clock. So if you want to come hang out, feel free to. We'll review the market, watch some, maybe check out some stocks, maybe talk about what I traded that day, and just, soft launch, feel it out. If it's something I don't feel like I can do consistently, then I probably will just put a pin in it, because I don't want to do anything or promise anything that I can't stay consistent on. The mornings are easy because this is what I do every morning regardless. The nights, we'll see. So figured I'd let you know. If you want to check it out, feel free to. All right. So, I got an ND filter on the camera, so I think it's looking a little better. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the viewing. Pleasure. So today, futures economic earnings calendar. We really don't have much on the economic side today. It's really the rest of this week. So here's the economic side today. If I go scroll back up here. Today is Monday the 9th, so you guys can see really not too much. We have inflation expectations. We have 5-year and 1-year inflation expectations. Atlanta Fed president speaking at 12:30. I don't think that changes much. And then consumer credit at 3 p.m. That's an interesting number to watch out for. Tomorrow, you got Jerome Powell speaking in Sweden. Anytime Jerome Powell speaks, there's a possibility of movement on the market. So we'll have to watch out for that. That's in the pre-market tomorrow. Thanks, Jay Price. The drink of choice at 7 p.m. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a little frisky at night. I almost thought about doing it on Twitch, so we could be a little bit, we could BS a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what the vibes are at night. It'll probably be a little bit less professional. So if you're looking for maybe a little less professional, then maybe that's what we'll try to do. Wednesday, January 11th, nothing on the economic calendar. So we'll see, we'll probably have a pretty uninterrupted day there. And then Thursday's the big day. Thursday is the big day. We got Bullard speaking in the pre-market. We got CPI coming out in the pre-market. We have jobless claims coming out in the pre-market. And we have the federal budget at 2 p.m. But Thursday morning is going to be pretty big, right? Thursday morning, consumer price index, CPI, and then you got Bullard speaking. You got jobless claims. So we definitely need to watch out for that on Thursday morning. Okay, that's really the main event for this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is like the cards before the fight, and then the CPI is the main event. All right. So let's watch out for that. It'll be on YouTube, Chef. The link to the live stream will be posted in the members on the YouTube for members. I'll post where it's gonna be. So if you go to my channel, I'll pull it up in a second. I'm going to put it in the... if you go to my channel, I think if you're a member, it'll say membership. And the link to the live streams will be in here. It'll be like a private link inside the YouTube membership tab. So, yeah. That's where to find it. All right. So, today, Tesla over 115. That's definitely something I'll be watching today. What does Tesla want to do? Does it want to continue over 115? Nvidia over 150. This is a key level as well. You guys saw Costco on Friday. I missed that thing. I very much had pain on Friday from missing Costco. I had a losing day on Friday. It sucked, but I had to walk away. I had to walk away at some point, right? If we have a red day, I was 0 for 2 on the day, and I just had to call it. I didn't try to make my money back. I didn't try to revenge trade, so I'm happy about that. I did mess up the trade that I took, which I'm going to try. I talked about in the Discord and may make a video about it. I had a very nice profit on Tesla to the downside. I saw a lot of people take the exact same trade that I took, and I was the one that messed it up. So I saw a lot of people online talking about the 105 rejection play on Tesla early morning. I got into that exact same play, but I did not take my profits quick enough. Must have been a little lack of judgment, greed that stepped in, and I took a loss on it when I was in a very nice profitable position. So definitely a messed up trade on Tesla on Friday. Took my loss, walked away, figured this week would be a great opportunity to make it back, and I am looking forward to do so. So Tesla 115, Nvidia 150, Costco, huge move on Costco. Definitely something to watch. Microsoft. If the market continues higher today, I'm definitely watching Microsoft. That thing has been sold off tremendously. Amazon 87, Apple at 130. And then I also want to talk about the XLF and the XLV, the healthcare sector and the financial sector. Both of these charts are looking pretty interesting. I want to point out some technicals on those. And then we'll talk a little bit about Lulu. We'll talk a little bit about a few other names that are up today. We have like MasterCard and Visa that are up pretty nicely this morning. So definitely some things to be watching, some levels to be watching. Let's go ahead and go over them today. I hope you guys do enjoy this setup or this live stream. Let's do it. So, ES, it's all about 39.20. It's all about 39.20 today. I think that is going to be your major level. So if I go out to the 4 hour, let me actually go out to the 4 hour here. If we look at this ES, this 39.20 level, I'm actually going to pop onto the moving averages as well, because I think that daily SMAs are starting to get interesting again. So there's the ES with the daily SMAs. 39.20 was your previous support here. It was your previous rejection point right here. So this 39.20 level is very important. It was also previous support back here in November. So 39.20, 39.20, 39.20. And today, if we go to the 5-minute chart, this is going to be everything. I mean, this is going to light your path today. Does the ES stay above 39.20? If it does, then I could see more upside, right? There's no doubt about it. If the ES can maintain this 39.20 level, which it is right now, it's maintaining it in the pre-market. We got above it in the futures, and we sort of maintained it ever since. We also have the 50 SMA on the daily chart that is right there at the 39.20 as well. So today, I think you watch the 39.20 like a hawk, right? If you see the demand step up there at 39.20 intraday, then I would consider to look, I would definitely look for more upside. If we can maintain that level, then I would look for more upside. If we drop below 39.20, I think we watch out for the 3900 area. I think that psychological level will be important right down here at 3900. That is also where the 20 and the 100 SMA are stacked up as well. So if you break 39.20, I would look for 3900, which could still be a support level. I would still be cautious shorting into 3900, right? I don't know if I want to be too aggressive on the short side at 3900 because you have the 20 and the 100 SMA. And you also have, right, you also have some previous levels at the 3,900. So if we go back to the hourly chart and we sort of look at the last few weeks, we can see that at 3,900, we have some previous rejection points, right? We have this rejection here. We have these rejections here. We have this rejection here. And we also have the SMAs. So if we do get that 39.20 pullback, then we just have to be a little bit cautious, right? We have to be a little bit cautious of a potential hold of that 3,900, right? So if we break under 3,900, I think that'll be the level I sort of switch to the downside. I switch to maybe a move to give back some of Friday's push. That would be the 3,900. If we were to break below that again, if we were to break back below these rejection points and the SMAs here, then I would look for maybe a continuation move to the downside if we get under 3,900 and if we get under 39.20, okay? If we stay above 39.20, right, what are some levels to watch on the upside? If I go to the 4-hour chart, I'm going to be watching this 39.50 area, right? I'm going to be watching this right here. This 39.50 area is a little bit interesting to me. It's right there, right? 39.50, which also has some, it's obviously a psychological level around 39.50. And then you also have these lows here, right? You have these double bottom lows here. You have a little bit of consolidation in this area right here. So 39.50, I think, would be the next level to watch on the upside, right? If you get a push off 39.20 today, let's say you are able to maintain the 39.20. Let's say we maintain this 50 SMA, we maintain the 39.20 area. I would be just cautious. You could probably look for some upside, but just watch out for this 39.50 here. I think that would be your next level to watch. If you are able to push over 39.50, then I would say your target's probably near that 200 SMA, right? Your 200 SMA is sitting at around 4,000. So I would watch these 50-point increments. I would watch 39.50 today for a potential rejection or a potential, just some potential congestion around that 39.50 level. If you get above that, I would sort of target that 200 SMA. And then if we go to the 5-minute, right, we're obviously watching 39.20. If that does not hold, 3,900. Those are sort of my levels to watch today. 39.50, 39.20, 3,900. How do we react within this area here? 3,900 again has the 20 and the 100 SMA stacked up right at that level. You have the 50 SMA at 39.20, and then you have a potential rejection point up here at 39.50. And then the 200 SMA is up here at 4,000. All right. So if we get a hold of this 39.20 intraday, I would be targeting the 39.50. That would be my first level to keep an eye out for today on the ES. But I think your line in the sand, your whatever you want to call it, your seesaw, the middle of the seesaw, whatever you want to sort of think about this, I think 39.20 is that level. I think that's the level that we need to really be focused on today to see how the market holds it and if there's more continuation here. On the Nasdaq, things are a little bit more concerning. They really are. They're not as bullish as the ES, in my opinion. Now, here's why. If we look at the Nasdaq, look at where the Nasdaq is starting to struggle. Right, the Nasdaq is starting to struggle around this 11,180 level, and this is the exact level that we double topped at previously, both Tuesday of last week and Friday, the 26th of December. So you guys can see Friday, December 26th, Tuesday, this is January 3rd, and then you can see we are trading at that exact level today. So we definitely want to be a little cautious of that. We want to be aware that if we move up into that 11,180, which we are today, and we start to see some rejection set in, right, we want to be careful of a little rejection here because you can already see it. It's already starting to show up, right at this 11,180 level. So how bullish do I want to be? I don't want to be too bullish before we get above that 11,180. I want to be very cautious of that because if I go long here and this thing rejects 11,180, I'm in for some pain. So I don't want to get too aggressive to the upside unless I see the Nasdaq really maintain over this 11,180 level. So I would be careful of that one. That could be a very important level to watch today as well. The ES may show upside, but if that Nasdaq rejects there, you could see some weakness step in. Above 11,180, you have the 20 SMA at around 11,230. That would be my next level to watch. And then if you really can get a move over that 180 today, if you can really get that continuation move to come in, I really don't see much rejection points until the 400. All right, if you really do get another continuation move here, then I would just watch out for the 400. That would be your target if you can really get a legit move here. All right, that would be 11,400. That would be a move through this pretty low volume, sort of gap, or just like really quick downside move here from Thursday the 22nd of December. If you guys remember, that was that big downside day. That was my birthday. That's how I remember it. And you can see it was right off that 11.4. So if you do get over 180, if you do get over the 20 SMA, then I would say you're targeting that 11,400, right? So, yeah, I keep forgetting to put the ticker up there. Sorry, guys. Nasdaq, we're looking at the Nasdaq. So, 11,180, that would be the level to watch. If you reject 11,180, here's what you need to watch out for, right? Here's what you need to watch out for if you are on the short side. If you're looking to play shorts here off 180, you got to watch out for this 11,070, 11,060 area, right? So if we do get a pullback, you got to be a little cautious that things start to hold in this area here. The reason for that is some previous rejections here, previous rejections here. If we move over, we have another rejection here, right? We have some support that stepped in here. So this 11,070 level, if I go back to the hourly chart, I think is a level of importance as well that we need to be aware of for a potential hold. So if you do get a pullback off 11,180 today, which is right here, if you do get that pullback move, just be cautious of a potential hold in this area. Now, the reason I say that is because if you just look to the left, you guys can see all the previous rejections at this level. We are now trading above it. So if we are trading above a previous rejection point, 11,070, then we need to be cautious of a potential hold. Could this be, right? Could this be the next best long entry for another attempt through the channel high, right? Could this be right here the best entry for longs for another attempt to the upside? That is very possible, right? Is that where, the patient traders start to go long? They look for the pullback off 11,180, right? They look for this early rejection of this triple top, and then they look to start to create some long entries here around 70 and look for that push one more time into that 180. So a lot of scenarios to watch out for today. A lot of interesting setups. You got to watch the 180. You got to watch the 11,070. You got to watch the 20 SMA, and you got to watch 11.4. That's sort of the area that I would be watching here on the Nasdaq. I personally would love to see this move, right? This would be the move that I would be most confident in. If I could see something like this, if I could see the Nasdaq pull back to 11,070, if I could see it start to grind here, start to find some support at this level, maybe it finds support over a few days here, and then look to see if this thing can push back off of it. That would be a move that I would, that would be a nice setup move. So watching that 11,070, 11,180, that's what I would be watching today, guys. All right, Dow Jones, Mike Jones. The best move is this would be the best move in my opinion, would be a pullback to this 33.6, 33.5, right? So if you could get a pullback to here, get a little retest action, that would be the best move in my opinion on the Dow Jones. If you can get a pullback to this previous rejection point, all these rejections here, you guys can see them all in there, 33.5, 33.6. If you could get a pullback to that, then I would definitely look to see if it starts to hold. That's also the 50 and 20 SMA right here. You guys can see the 20 and 50 SMA sitting right below it. If I could see that pullback move on the Dow, I would look to see if it starts to hold. If we go to the 4-hour chart here on the Dow, you can see, let me zoom out. So over the last few weeks, you can see we did pull back. We held this previous high, 32,750. We now have broken above this little consolidation range. So I would look to see, can we get a pullback to that 33.5, 33.6? If we can, then look for that continuation. I would probably say, these next highs around this 34.2. You could also watch these highs around 34,000 on the Dow, right? 34,000, 34.2. There's a lot of consolidation up in this area on the Dow. So just be a little bit careful of that. I would watch 34,000. That's that whole psychological number on the Dow Jones, 34,000. It's a little bit of a triple top from right here. So watch out for that 34,000 today. But the best move would be a pullback, in my opinion. That would make me the most confident. Pullback here, 33.6, 33.5. Hold the previous highs, and then see if that thing can maintain that level. Russell, very similar type of analysis here. Would love to see the pullback to the previous highs. So here's the Russell. You guys can see it broke out of that trading range above that 1800 level right here on the Russell. You can see that 1800. That was where it continued to reject. You are sort of creeping above that 1800. I would love to see a little pullback to 1800. See if that holds. That would be the move I'd look for on the Russell. 100 SMA, 50 SMA, 200 SMA, all sitting right above. So watch out for those SMAs. So I think the most important things to watch today, guys. I think the best things that I would be focusing on here is 39.20. Let me go ahead and draw that out one more time. I would be watching. These are the most important things in my opinion. I'd be watching 39.20. See how that reacts today. That will be your first major thing to watch. How does 39.20 react intraday? Next thing that I would watch, and probably the second most important thing I'd watch, is 11,180. How does 11,180 react? Do we get above that 11,180? If we can get above 180, if we can start to push towards the 20 SMA, I'm sure at that point the ES is pushing as well. That would be the level I'd watch. 11,180 and 39.20. Those are the two most important levels in my opinion today. All right. I'll go over to the SPY because I know a lot of people want to look at that. The SPY 390, I think, is your level to watch today. But you also have some rejections, right? The SPY is a little interesting because you also have some rejections up here around 392. 392, you have some previous lows right here, right in this general area. Let me go ahead and delete these moving averages. Makes it a little bit messy here. So you can see here, I think 390 is definitely important. So I would obviously watch the 390 today. The next level, though, you have to watch is around this 392, right? These previous double bottom lows right here. Double bottom, double bottom. So watch that 392 double bottom right here around that 392 level. But as of right now, I'd say 390 is the level to watch. So 390, 392 are the levels I'd watch on the SPY. All right. That's the futures. Hopefully that helps, guys. Let's start getting into some individual stocks. Tesla. So here's what I'm looking for on Tesla today. Obviously, if the ES holds 39.20, if the Nasdaq gets over 11,180, then I'm looking to see if Tesla wants to move towards, if Tesla wants to move towards that 124, right? Tesla has broken over a previous rejection point, a very important one too. So previous rejections here, 115, previous rejections here, 115, and Tesla has broken over that 115 level. So if we get a pullback to 115, is there a long entry? If we get back under 115, does this get weak? But if we can maintain 115 here, then I would be looking for the next move into this level here, 124, right? I don't think Tesla will just chop around in between this area here. I think this will be, I think this could act as like a low volume vacuum here up into the next level. So if we get strength on the market, that's a big if, right? That's something we'll have to see at market open. But if we get that market strength, then I would be looking for the 124 level, right? That would be the next level I'd watch, okay? So look to see, do we hold 115? If we do, watch 124. If we break back under 115, then watch out for the downside. If we're under 115, it's probably because the ES and the Nasdaq rejected those key levels, right? So everything will have to align there. But if we do see that rejection, watch the move under 115. If we see the support step in on the ES Nasdaq, then look for that push on Tesla into 124. That's what I'm watching today. I'm watching this little area here on Tesla, little low volume void here up into that 124. All right. Nvidia. Nvidia is similar. Nvidia is very similar here. So here's what I'm watching on Nvidia. So we had a pretty important rejection point at around the 149, 150 level on Nvidia. That was right here. We had a previous double bottom right here, previous double bottom. We had a rejection right there. We had some rejection step in there at 149, 150, and we are above that level today. So if Nvidia is above 149, 150, right, if we are holding above that level, I'm actually going to put a line at 150 as well. I want to watch that whole zone. I want to be aware of that whole dollar range. So if we're above that 149, 150, then I could see the next move come into that 154, right? That would be this triple top right here, right? That would be your next move. You get a move. If you see strength on the market, you get that move into that next top, which is around that 154, 155. If you can get above 154, 155, then that's really where the real move starts to occur. Because if you look at this chart, you look at the left of this chart, look at what's happened. Look at this right here, right? This area between 154 and 160 is extremely, this is like the ultimate vacuum, this type of move, right? I always talk about this. If you get a quick move to the downside, you can expect the equal reaction to the upside. So if you are actually able to continue higher here, if there is still more strength on this market, if at any point you see this Nvidia start to hold above this 154, this could be a very, very aggressive move and very, very nice move to trade. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, right? That's just going to be in the back of my head this week. Going to make sure I understand that above 154, this could get pretty aggressive and could be a very nice trade up towards that 160. But we have to make sure, right? We have to make sure we're paying attention to this 149, 150 level. Let me get a little bit more time here so I can illustrate this a little bit on a shorter term. We have to hold above this 150, 149 range, I think, to even see that continuation. So if we can maintain that, I'd watch 154s. If we get above that, then that real move starts to occur. But today I'd watch 150, 149, 150. All right. You can even watch it down to like this 148.50, to be quite honest. Right? If you look at this chart, you could see it's really maybe between this 150 and this 148.50. You can see this double top right here and then this consolidation here. So 148.50 to 150 would be the zone that needs to hold as demand for this to maybe have another push. All right. Costco. This one hurts, guys. This one really does hurt. This is like one of those moves that just, hurts the soul because I'm sure if you come to the live streams, I had a lot of people message me on Instagram saying, hey, Costco finally worked out. That was awesome. And I'm like, yeah, well, I missed it. So, yeah, this one hurts a little bit, hurts the soul. This is going to happen in trading where you're like so focused on something. You're like really eagle-eyed on a move that you're looking for, and it works out, and you just didn't participate. Happens so much in trading, and it's just one of those things that you have to learn to sort of get over and look for the next opportunity. But as you guys know, I was watching Costco to hold this little triple bottom here around this 450, 455, and look at the move that it made on Friday. Just an insane move off that demand. Obviously, it was news-driven, so I can't get too upset about it, right? It didn't really look like anything was going to happen here until it had some news, which you can't really predict unless you can read the future. So it was a very nice continuation move off that 450, huge push to the upside. Is there more upside, right? That's the next question that I need to try to answer for myself. Is there more upside? Nasdaq's going? Oh, yeah, look at that. Nasdaq's over 180. Yeah. So, look, we just broke that 180. Look at the reaction there. Yeah, so that's big. Definitely going to watch that. Is there more upside here? That is my next question that I need to answer. There was a very nice move on Friday. Some good news that came out of Costco. So I'll definitely monitor, right? So I'm going to probably watch this 490 zone. It's not very clean. It's not perfect, but I think this 490 zone is an important level to watch. The reason I say that is this rejection here, this rejection right here. I would watch the rejections here that were support here, right? And then you have some rejections here. So 490, I think, is your next very important level here on Costco. That would be the next level I'd see what Costco does at. If Costco rejects 490, then be careful on the upside. But if Costco can break over 490, if it can turn 490 into support, then maybe there is more here. So I'm going to be watching 490 on Costco. Very nice demand hold at that 450. Huge push on Friday. Let's see what it does at 490 today. All right. Microsoft. So I'm definitely going to be watching Microsoft here because Microsoft is probably one of the weaker tech names, and it maybe rightfully so, but is there an opportunity here if we get continuation on this market? So I know that Microsoft is trading back down into a pretty much yearly low and sort of this triple bottom, around this 220. So I know we have the support here. I know we had some support step in here, and I know we had some support step in last week around this 220. So if we do see a little bit of upside on the market, do we start to see some short covering on Microsoft at this 220, and do we start to see this thing recover? There's a pretty clear technical levels to watch here on Microsoft today. Microsoft, if you do get upside on the market, I would say tries to reach towards that 230, right? You try to reach towards this previous rejection point here. If you get above 230, then the real move happens, right? This is very similar to that Nvidia analysis that I talked about. If you get above 230, right, and you get through this little top here, then I would target this very aggressive, potentially a very aggressive move into the 234, right? Because you can see, look at this reaction to the downside. And if you get above this 230 level, then I would expect a pretty equal reaction to the upside into this rejection, into these rejection points here, right? So above 230, I would look for 234. Obviously, things have to align in the market, right? Nasdaq needs to hold up. ES needs to hold 39.20. All those things need to be doing the right thing for this to work out. We all need to know that. But if those things do align and Microsoft starts to get a move, watch a move into 230. And if you get above 230, watch a move into 234. I would also not be opposed to watching for this move, right? This move and then this, right? I would not be opposed to looking for this either because that is a break and retest. So we have to be aware of this 234 level. It could very well be, a potential rejection point. There's no doubt about that. So just because we catch some upside here does not mean we hope and pray that it breaks above 234. Right? That's not how you trade. You have to understand, hey, this could just be a fake move back to the upside, a little bit of a squeeze, a little bit of a short covering, and then another sell back to the downside off this previous triple bottom. Right? We have to be aware of that as well. We cannot be blind to the fact that could be a very easy rejection play as well. So if we're short-term bullish on the market, then maybe we get a push into 230, 234, but we have to watch out for that rejection at 234 as well. All right? Amazon, 87. This was the level that I played short off of like all last week. I just continued to short Amazon off 87, and it worked beautifully. Worked every single time. But now we're up at that level again. So Amazon 87, Amazon 87, Amazon 87, Amazon 87, and what are we at today? Amazon 87. So today, this is what I'm watching. I'm going to look to see, does Amazon break and hold above 87? If it does, right, if we see strength over 87 today on Amazon, then I'm definitely targeting the next move in this little channel into 88.50. All right, if I can see strength over 87, then I would be targeting right here, this 88.50, previous lows, rejections here. That would be my move that I'd focus on, about $1.50 on Amazon into that 88.50. That's if Amazon can hold above 87. If Amazon cannot hold above 87 and we see a market, get a little bit weak, then I would look for that same rejection play, right? If we get a rejection on the market, if we see downside step in today or anytime this week, then maybe we look for that 87 rejection again. But for now, right? For now, if we are short-term bullish, if we find any more momentum here, then I'm looking for a push over 87, a support hold at 87, and then another move into that 88.50. All right? That's Amazon. Apple, 130. So Apple, if we look at this Apple chart, we can see a little bit of a break of this downtrend in the short term. We're above that 130 level. That's a huge psychological level for Apple. And you can see here in the pre-market, look at the reactions off 130, right? We held it here, held it here. We definitely are showing some support stepping in at the 130 level. So if the market's strong, if we get a push to the upside, if the ES Nasdaq are looking bullish, then look to see if you can play Apple off 130 here. If Apple can hold 130 here, then I would look for that next move into this 130, 150. Let me go ahead and zoom in correctly here. So the next move I would say is up into this 130, 150 previous lows, right? And if you can continue over that, then I would target these previous highs right here around 133.50. All right, so I think today, if you don't want to trade Apple, if you want to use Apple as sort of that feel on the market to see how the market's performing, because Apple's obviously very important, I would just watch the 130. All right, I think Apple 130 is going to be a huge psych level here in the near future to see whether it holds above that 130 level. All right. All right, the last thing, or not the last, but actually no, let's go over a few things before we jump into this. Let's just jump onto some of those really, popular things this morning. Lulu is a pretty popular one this morning, one of the biggest movers this morning to the downside. Lululemon came out and said that they are concerned about margin contraction. And margin contraction is very real for Lululemon. Now, why is that? Because Lululemon is so great, and I wear it myself, and it's performed so well because of the ridiculous margins that they get away with. It's almost like murder. And I'm part of the people that contribute to their murdering, to be quite honest. And for a lack of a better words, I know that's a bad word to use, but for a lack of better words, their whole business is margin, because they can charge $100 for a T-shirt and people buy it like it's sliced bread. I don't know why people do it. I do it myself. It's a sickness. It's a cult. It's very weird, right? If you really think about it, it's very weird. The type of marketing genius that they have done there over at Lululemon, because it works. It's very similar to Starbucks, right? Starbucks, people pay, if you get two coffees for you and your significant other, you're out of Starbucks for $20 for a cup of coffee. So it's a marketing play. It's a marketing genius. It's hats off to them. But margin contraction is like the worst, in my opinion. It's not a very good thing for Lululemon, right? That's concerning. And I think that's why the stock is down almost 10% this morning. Obviously, besides all the great things about Lululemon, it's not like the product is shit. It's a great product. I love it. But it is very overpriced. So 310 on Lululemon, I think is the level to watch here. If you get a push back to the upside on Lululemon, I would watch it to reject 310. That would be sort of the level. That would be the level I would watch, right here at 310. So if you get that push back up on Lulu into this little bottom here, watch out for that 310 level. All right. So that's what I'm watching on Lulu. I would watch for a fake push back into 310. If you get that 310 start to reject, I would look for that downside move, that downside continuation off this news. You do have some support that steps in around this 280, 290 area. So just be aware of that, right? Right around here, 287, 290. You have some support that steps in there. All right. Let's go over XLF because I think this is an interesting one. XLF, look at what it did, right? Look at the hold that it created. It created a really nice hold here at that 33. I haven't touched this chart in a long time, and the circles that I made whenever I made these have worked out beautifully. So support here, 33 area held beautifully, pushing back to the upside. You have to watch out for this 36 on XLF, right? We have to watch out for that 36. But you have some stocks that are moving pretty significantly here on the financials. I know MA and Visa are not financial stocks, they're not bank stocks, but they definitely move with the financial sector. So MasterCard has been sort of moving here very strong. Visa moving very strong. JP Morgan has held here very nicely and is testing this little top here around 138. And then you even have Goldman Sachs, which if I put on the moving averages, is holding the 100 SMA. So look at this 100 SMA hold on Goldman Sachs. This is very interesting to me. Does Goldman Sachs break above this little 4-hour channel? All right, you can see right here, you have a little 4-hour channel on Goldman Sachs up here to around 351. If Goldman Sachs pushes above this channel here and holds the 100 SMA, this could be a nice little squeeze here, right? This could definitely be a nice little squeeze here over 351 off a 100 SMA hold. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep... Look at this daily chart on GS. So this is very interesting to me. This is why I brought up the banks today. Yeah, you do have a bunch of, you have a lot of earnings coming up for the banks. So watch out on that. But is there a little short-term play before earnings here? Yeah, I'm going to watch it. If I can see more strength on that XLF, then I'm definitely going to watch this Goldman Sachs move over 351. So just keeping an eye on that. I wanted to share it with you. XLE, I wanted to share that again too. Look at the XLE here. Look at that energy sector. Look at that beautiful retest hold. All right, previous rejections into support, 100 SMA hold as well. Watch that XLE. And finally, XLV, guys. This is probably one of the cleaner retests that I'm seeing start to form here on the market. You can see, look at this rejection here. Look at this rejection here. And look at what's going on here on the XLV. This is the healthcare sector. So you can see the healthcare sector has turned a previous double top rejection at 135 into a pretty much multi-week support level. So is there another push on the healthcare sector? If there is, you got stocks like J&J, you got stocks like AbbVie, you got stocks like UNH. And UNH has been falling pretty significantly, has earnings coming up as well. So just wanted to point out those sectors, guys. XLV, XLF, XLE, holding some pretty nice levels. Watch out for some of those sector moves. All right. Let's get a quick refresher on the futures, and then we're gonna head out of here, guys. 39.20. I might miss out on some of your tickers today. Maybe we'll look at them in the late night stream if you guys want to check out some tickers there. But 39.20, I would watch that today on the ES, and then on the Nasdaq, 11,180, guys. Those are the levels I'd watch today. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to head over to the Discord. I hope you guys, you can see it's getting dark on me here. It's getting dark again, but I'm going to head over to the chat. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Yeah, see, it got brighter out. Oh, well. Good thing we got through the stream. Thanks again, guys, for being here. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys did enjoy the stream today. I hope it helped you out. I hope it prepared you for the day. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Instagram. You can reach out to me on Twitter. Anywhere you want to try to reach out to me, I try to get back to everyone. I know sometimes it takes a little bit. There's a lot of people. But yeah, feel free to reach out. Hope you have a fantastic day. Good luck out there. Be smart. It's Monday. Let's see what the market wants to do. Let's see how it sort of works out. Let's see how it sort of shakes out after Friday's move, and then see if we can take advantage. All right, guys. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys tomorrow or tonight. Up to you. Peace out.